Magadi Zistungo. My name is Will Hill. I'm a full-blooded Mvskokean Indian. I'm a storyteller, and I am here to tell you the story of an Mvskoke Baba, the human flesh eater. Once a long, long time ago, in the ancient times, it was during a cold night when a hunting party had returned in the late of the evening. They had brought forth a baby that they had found on the trail. And all the women folk of the village, they came together, and they noticed that this baby was wearing clothes with designs in it of a tribe that they were not familiar with. So, as was the custom of the day, the child was given to a couple that had no children, a childless couple. And they were so happy to receive this baby, they took it back to their camp, and there they made a little bed for it. And the mother took this orphan baby and tucked it in, and soon they settled in for the night. But they had a hard time getting to sleep. Something seemed to be stirring and bothering them. During the middle of the night, as the flames of the large fire began to burn down, all of a sudden they heard a sound of bones popping and cracking. The man looked up, and where the basket that held the child was, a great big bony spindly arm came up out of the top of the basket with sharp claws, and this great eye began to appear above the basket. On the other side, another bone began to protrude, and it began to let out this noise of immediately. The man realized this was not a baby. It wasn't a baby at all. This was an evil spirit known as an Mvskoke Baba, the human flesh eater. He and his wife, as the thing was turning into its misshapen self, they snuck out of their home and made their way to the village campgrounds, and there they began to shout the alarm. The villagers began to appear one by one, and once they realized what was happening, the warriors went to the forefront with all their weaponry, and the elderly men, women, and the children and the women began to make their way across the river because they knew one thing about this evil spirit: it would not pass over living water. So they made their way across the stream while the warriors went to the forefront to fight it. Arrows were shot at it and lances were tossed, hitting it, the creature. The creature only roared and tore through the top of that chugo, and the flames of the camp began to lick up the sides of it until it stood its full, misshapen, horrible self. And there it began to roar and bellow. Immediately, the warriors began to throw more torches onto the creature, engulfing it in flames. And as soon as it was turned into flames, the warriors escaped across the river along with the people. The lesson of the story is this: not all things that look innocent or simple are not innocent or simple at all. Sometimes they can turn into monsters. For more stories like this, be sure to follow Christopher Honka Hill at Instagram. Mado.